Hello. In this video, I will show you how to add a self-hosted agent for your Azure DevOps organization. We'll be using your own machine then. Documentation is pretty straightforward, but I suppose a lot of people can get confused because there are a lot of variations. I'll add this documentation in the description. Can be useful if you have a doubt or if you want to understand better. The first tip is if we're in our Azure DevOps organization, like this Azureverse, we go to organization settings. And down to the left, we have something called agent pools. And when we come to this page, we see there are two different pools. We could add another pool, but generally, just for simplicity's sake, we'll go with default. And here we have tried this earlier, so I know it works. Let's go to you see in agents. I have no agents right now. I'm doing everything from scratch. I'm going to click this button up here, new agent, over here. And we get the instructions here. Pretty straightforward. You download the agent by clicking this button. Now I've already downloaded it. We open our downloads folder and we can see this is what's downloaded and I've already extracted it. I'm not going to follow the instructions completely because I like to do things differently. You can follow them completely or do like me. So I open another window and I'm going to go to this PC, to the C drive. I'm going to create a new folder here called agents, and inside of it I'm going to move this extracted folder. That way I can see the versioning and the architecture if I ever forget it in the future. And inside here we have the files. Now if I go back up here, you might be using Windows 11. You can very easily just right click here. You have this terminal already installed, but we can do it the right way because we still need to run as administrator. So in the search box here, I write PowerShell, and when I do that, I see here the option to run as administrator because we're going to need that added access privileges to make this work. And yes, and we see we are started in C inside Windows System 32. We want to navigate to C, so we use the cd command, which stands for change directory, and dot dot, which means move up. And we do it again, and now we're in CD, and I can verify by either typing ls, or if that doesn't work for you for some reason, there's the general Windows command dir, which is the same thing. And there we see in the top our agents folder. Now I'm going to cd into agents. And in here I can just do dir again, just so we see there's our agent folder. And now I'm not going to type all of that, so I'm going to type cd, and there's only I just type VS and then tab. It automatically finds it for us. And then we go enter. And now we're in here. I'm just going to clear so we have some, well, less things in our eyes. And I'll type ls here again, or dir. So we see, here we have it. As we see the instructions, we have followed, we've done the first part. Now it wants us to configure the agent. And we wants us to run the command. So similar solution here. We see the config command file. I just type co and then tab and it completes it, unless you like to type everything manually. Now here it asks for a server URL, and the server URL here is actually this entire initial part here and the organization name. So we don't want the slash in the end, just this part. So in here, type server URL. Now it wants an authentication type, and if we look at the documentation, there are different ways you can authenticate, but generally for our use case, and it's much simpler, we can I just missed it, I think. Well, whatever, it's somewhere. Let's see, download and configure agents. Say we type in organization. Oh, I guess it's different. Anyways, we want to go to we want to use something called PAT, which is personal access token. So we close this. We see this icon here called user settings. And here we right click or open this personal access token. So I'm going to open this in a new tab so we can come back here later. And what we need to do is create a new token. And I'm going to name it in a certain way. You don't need to follow my naming conventions. It's just way how I like it. I call it local agent, and my computer's name, which is Zane Win, and paths, which is person access token. And because for my, you can put it as long as you want. I'm gonna put it to the end, like end of the year. I think the longest you can do is a year, so I'm gonna choose December, and then no, 2nd December, or yeah, 2nd December. And then we need to get a scope. You won't see what's all the possibilities here, so click this show all scopes. And what we're looking for is agent pools, and we want read and manage. We click create. And now we see the person access token. And as it says, once you close this, it's gone. You copy it like this and close. But if you accidentally close it, you don't need to do all that again. You can just select this and then go regenerate. And now it's a different one, of course. So keep that in mind. I'm going to keep this tab open because we might need it later. So I'm going to copy this, go back to our PowerShell. It says enter authentication type, press enter for path, so I just press enter. And then now I can paste it in. And here it says enter agent pool, press enter for default. As I said, we are now in the default. That's why we went into it. So we can keep our life simple. Then I press enter. And the agent name is going to take my computer name. It sees it. Enter. And then the same for work folder. We go with default. So I just press enter. And here, and enter run agent as a service. What this means is that it will run in the background as a background service. So we don't have to manually start it or close it. It doesn't take a lot of resources, so you don't need to worry about that. I'll show you later if you ever want to remove it or so. It's not difficult. So I'm gonna say yes, and then here I'm gonna give it a yes. Yeah, I can go, or I could just go with default, so who cares, it's gonna work. And then the same here, default, just press enter. And here, same here, enter. And it's done. And we see it's initially offline, but soon it's going to start. There, it's online. So I'm going to keep these tabs here. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to right click here on middle mouse click, Azureverse, open it. I'm going to go into my sandbox project. I'm going to go to repos. Now let's say you created a new repository. You have some application. I'm just going to call it Project Alpha, something boring. We can have give it a git ignore, let's say C#. Oh, Visual Studio. Yeah, Visual Studio there. Great. And it's empty, it has nothing. That's okay. If we go to pipelines here, create pipeline. Let's see, let's take our Azure repos git and we see our Project Alpha. I click my repo. I'll choose existing Azure Pipelines YAML file. I'll show you the classic editor version too, but they recommend just going with YAML. That's what they're focusing on. It's much more powerful. And here I get to choose. Oh, sorry, I went. What did I do here? I went wrong. Project Alpha. Oh, here, sorry. We want to go to starter pipeline. And here we see a template, pretty simple one. It's just going to run a script to print hello world. And another thing here, another prints we don't care about. Here we see it says VM image ventilators. This is when you're using Microsoft hosted. So I'm just going to add a comment here. This is Microsoft hosted. And we're going to comment that out. And we want to use self-hosted because we went through all that trouble for some reason, right? Maybe your parallelism request has not gone through or some other reason. And here, this is our, what we type here is name and then the name of the pool. And remember, it's called default. So you see, this is the pool, agent pools. And let's go with save and run. And it wants to commit because creating a new pipeline. Now, the first time we do this, we have to approve. So this just queued, nothing is happening. It's not starting. So if I click here, we get this prompt. This pipeline needs permission to access a resource before this run can continue. So we click here, view, and we permit it. Permit. And now it will run. Nice. Perfect. All good. So our jobs worked. Now this was through YAML. Now you might not be maybe afraid of that, or you just want to keep life simple. Go to new pipeline. We see here that use the classic editor to create a pipeline without YAML. If you can't see this in your organization settings, I think, let's see, where do we keep it? Some here, settings here. These are generally toggled on by default, so you can just click this off here and off on this to remove the disable creation of classic build pipelines and release pipelines, if that's what you want. I'll return to where I was here. So use the classic editor, and then we can choose our repository, which was already by default project alpha. And then here we get some templates. Now, supposedly you're a .NET developer, you might choose ASP.NET Core, apply, and then you have these steps you might recognize: restore, build, test, publish. And here to the right, first we need to choose the correct agent pool. Remember, we have two. We have Azure Pipelines and default, as we saw if I click here. So we want default because that's where our self-hosted one is. So that's why we select the default. And then that's done. Now, if you had a .NET project, you can just save Q run. Now I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to go back, okay, here, because I just want to show you that it works. So I'm going to go for something simple. Do we have a, what do we have? We have something empty, here, empty pipeline. And same process here, our agent pool, select our default, done. Now here I want to add a job, so I'm going to say something very simple here as well. What do we have? Maybe some here, bash. I think this should work. So let's add. All right, maybe I need a file or something. Okay, let's remove that one. I think there's a better choice. Let's add another one. Let's see. Here, command line. Because that's very simple. Click add. And here it already gives us two examples, but we might just want hello world. So I'm going to remove that. And then we just go save and queue. We can run it immediately. Why not? We can go in here and we see it's going to run. Good, it works. That's pretty much it for it. That's all it is. Let's see, close this, and we can see our jobs that run. Great. Our agent's still alive. Maybe one last thing, maybe you want to remove this. Something went wrong with the setup. There's a command here. It shows you at the end, I think, config remove. So you have to redo it for some reason, or you just want to remove it. You don't want this anymore. You're moving to Microsoft instead. So remember, we see our file, we see our config there. I'll tab, and then here after space remove. Now there's a, don't know why my window changed like that, but oh well. Now let's see. Now enter authentication type, press enter for PAT, enter. Now it wants my personal access token. So I use this, but if you had accidentally closed this, it will work to just regenerate. Then let's copy the new one, paste, and then it will remove it. Now, say this was because you need to reconfigure. Now you can just go back to the normal config and go through all the steps again. Or if you were done, like I am now, you can just delete it from the agents folder. And that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful. Good luck.